Hello everyone, this is Johnny the Orange, and today I'm going to be replying to some of the comments you guys have left across all the videos I've been making. And if we have some time to spare, I'll cover a bit of Bootica. The first comment is a reply to that Slinger video I put out where the tier 8 Slingers were bullshit compared to the Archers. Basty says at tier 9 and tier 10 the balance is exactly the other way around. Archers wreck you and you can't do shit. You can't fucking do nothing. This was the case last time I did have tier 9 and tier 10 Archers, but that's been a while. They have been nerfed since then. I didn't know if that was still the case, but it does make sense. The Slinger damage stays about the same from tier 8 to tier 10, while the Archer damage actually takes over the Slinger damage at tier 10. Not only that, the Archers do have a quicker reload time, and Barrage becomes useful. I'm just going to say it, I fucking hate the low tier Barrage. The higher tier one is probably not as powerful as I remember. It was fucking ridiculous. But it still gives you that extra range and armor pierce. From memory, it lasts 1 second longer, so it's just a better ability at those higher tiers, like every fucking ability. Also, Hunt slows people down and reduces their missile block. So Hunt is so important at those higher tiers. So I can see that being the case. I'll have to test it out. I'm almost there. I'm almost fucking there. Also, in reply to that Slinger video, Brian does say, new meta has begun. And yes, at tier 8, I think Slingers are definitely going to be in the meta. I've heard some of the lower tier ones are strong. I haven't played them that much, to be honest. But it's a fucking 100% accurate fact. I'll bet $1,000 fucking dollars on it. If they have ranked mode at tier 8 and the Slingers don't get nerfed, we'll see a shit ton of them. I was going to say $1 million, but I don't have fucking $1 million. I can't afford that shit. So on the slight chance I lose that bet, yeah, I can't fucking pay $1 million. So I reduce it by a fair margin down to 1,000. The next comment on that same video is Eerie Wee, and he says, I'm the first. Yep, he's fucking first. He came in first place, guys. Not one person even got close to beating him. He just took over the race. He fucking beat everyone, including myself. Also, I probably butchered the shit out of his name. I do that to a lot of people I can't pronounce foreign names. Your name has to be Bob, Frank, Bill, Sam, or some shit like that for me to pronounce it. But let's move on to some of the replies for the Catapult video. And we have a long one to begin with. Mr. Iron Sentinel does say, this video shows why I dislike Archers. Artie was, don't know if it still is, a real counter to the Archers. But with the amount of nerfs they have gotten, that is no longer the case. In this video, it took you basically the whole game to kill those Archers. And if they would have gotten in range, they would have killed you in 2 seconds. They would have fucking smashed you. And then it goes on, basically it just says fuck Archers. That's the whole thing, alright? Fuck Archers. Personally, I think Artie is such a mess to balance. You can't, because it's got such long range, they have to be kind of weak. But at the same time, if you make them too weak, then they're fucking useless. It's a nightmare to balance. In solo queue, they're fine when they were shooting 100 billion boulders. When you start versing teams, they basically wreck the game. It's a fucking mess. I don't know how you're meant to balance that shit. At the moment, I just see them as a unit that weakens other units before they get in range of your team. You get a few shots in, reducing their health by half, and then reducing them to nothing is very hard to do because you are shooting one boulder. So that's the way I just look at them now. Personally, I don't enjoy playing them because of, the reasons you brought up. They just don't seem strong. And when you're solo queued, they just don't seem strong at all. Also, the chances of you getting spotting points, capping points, defensive points is almost nil. You are relying on that aggression. So, yeah, it can be hard to level these guys up, or even look like you're getting a good score on them. But the reason they're so weak is when it comes to competitive play, when it's like 10 versus 10, organized teams, and even when it's, group queued with 4 players, catapults are very powerful. You have the longest range in the game, so you can bring the enemy to you, and that gives your team the advantage. Basically, what I'm saying, when it comes to balancing catapults, I'm just glad I don't fucking have to deal with that shit. I I'm not involved in the balancing process at all. Because I have no fucking idea how to make that unit balance even in the slightest way. Especially when a lot of it relies on what map you get. There you go, like how are you meant to balance that? Oh, you're on this map, so you have to get stronger now because this map's shit for you. It's just, I don't know how to do it. I'll leave that to the professionals. And that reply basically answers most of the comments on this video. Bill says, Catapult Guide, I half expected him to be playing anything else while telling us he would never play catapults. Well, yeah, I don't fucking enjoy the unit, but doesn't mean I won't make a guide on the shit. Actually, there is a few units I even hate more than catapults. For example, Carthage Tier 7 Spears. I love the Tier 6 ones, but those Tier 7 ones, I made a video, I'm not sure if I'm going to release it, because it's salty as fuck. I'm just there going, I hate this unit. I just hate... Tier 7 Carthage Spears are just a pile of shit. I don't know how to make a guide on that. Don't play the unit. A lot of the units I hate more than catapults are actually on Carthage. For example, the Tier 7 Carthage Cav, I have no upgrades. And it's a fucking nightmare. It's a nightmare, because most of the units you start off with a few upgrades when you level them up. With those Cav on the Tier 7 Carthage side, you have nothing. You have fucking nothing. I've got everything to Tier 7. I should have some upgrades on that fucking unit. But no. I got nothing. And that's usually the case for a lot of the Carthage units. You start off with no upgrades. My Tier 8 Alexander Cav, there's only one upgrade I did not have when I unlocked them. I had all the gear apart from one helmet. Way better unit. Just because of that. I fucking love it because of that. Now that we got the salt out of the way, let's move on to the next comment. Jacob says, Yo dude, vids are great, and I want to ask you a little something. Do you have any premium units? If you do, it would be interesting to see some review videos about them. I only have 2 premium units, which is the Tier 5 Elephants I've done a video on, and the Tier 5 Slingers I've done a video on. I also have the Barbarian Spears, but yeah, they're Tier 4. Those elephants have been nerfed since I did release that video, though, so they're probably not as strong as they used to be. As for the other premium units, I just don't know if they're good or not. I haven't played them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've got time for one more comment, and that is from Total War Arena, who says, I commented on the dev newsletter, but the ability swapping at Tier 10 is a bit of a test. If it works well and people like it, we can look into introducing it to other tiers. As for which abilities you can pick, that's all still being decided. Signed, Josh. That is one thing to keep in mind when they do introduce this ability swapping at Tier 10. It is a bit of a test. They're going to see if it works out or not. Personally, I think it's going to be pretty damn good. Other people think that stuff might become unbalanced. We'll just have to wait and see. It is a test. It could go either way. And that's all I've got time for. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and thumbs up and all that shit. And I'll see you next time.